Okay, just two injury announcements. Snead actually had the quad, and then Jeff with the ham, just so you guys know that. Okay, just kind of quick little summary of the game a little bit. We got off to a fast start, exactly what we wanted to do as a football team. Going out there, doing a great job, and got rolling through the game and did some really nice things. Cam played, a nice first half for us as we got going there, and then at the end of the half, unfortunately, we gave it the big play, and that was disappointing. And then they came out and, went down the field to start the second half, and then obviously we had the turnover, which was critical. We can't have that. We got to do a better job. All 11 guys in the field, and so it's disappointing the way the game went after the end of the first half. So we got to do a better job, stopping the run. The quarterback got out of the pocket a little too often for us. We got to contain that, keep him in the pocket, and make him do it the hard way. And then offensively, we can't get shut out, in the second half and do what we did. Only 8 plays in the first 3 series of the in the third quarter. So, but hey, we're going to stick together here. We're going to fight our tails off and find a way to go win the next one. That's the most important thing.
Aside from the turnover there in the third quarter, what were some of the reasons for the offensive struggles in the third?
Well, it's going to have to obviously watch the tape tomorrow, and the turnover starts, and then there's some protection things that came up as the game went on, and we've got to do a better job. All 11 guys doing their job better, and obviously we had some very successful drives in the first half of moving the ball, and Cam was playing well, and we got to run the ball better and more consistently.
How much was simplicity kind of at the core of what you guys were trying to do with all the turnover today? Was there a concerted effort to try and just do what you guys know how to do well, or were there a lot of changes made to try and reconfigure the offense, I guess?
It's not about the simplicity of it. It's what do our players do best, and that's what we're always going to look at. It doesn't, every play on that call sheet you think is a good play. That's why it's on there. So. I think we're going to always, every time you go into a game plan from week to week, you look, what do you think is the best way to approach this team, and what is the best way for your football team to go down and move the ball and score points offensively. And you saw what Cam and the rest of the offense did. Chim had the big play, the explosive play. It was the perfect coverage, things like that, and that's what happens. Players play, go make a play. It was great to see.
How would you assess maybe Cam's day, and what do you say to him about the turnovers? It just happened a couple of games, and I know he's not trying to do it, but how do you get that out of him?
Well, that's something that can't happen. We got to avoid that. And there's going to be, listen, you're going to have some mistakes. There's going to be some things like that come up, but it's happened too often in the last couple of weeks. So it's something we harp on. We talk about it all the time, and players got to go out there and play, and we got to do a better job as coaches also. So we're all in this thing. We are all in this thing together.
Like that last series in the first half.
Yep.
You had some timeouts.
Offensively or defensively?
Offensively.
Okay.
You had 3 timeouts. You had a chance maybe to get in position. Joey Slides kicking the ball. But what happened there?
Well, with the wind conditions, it was howling. That was the tough way to go, the tough direction. Even our last series or the series before that on offense. If you could hear the conversations that were going on there, just because the way the wind was blowing, it was changing, things like that. So I think Bones did a great job of communicating with me all game long where the start point needs to be to even attempt it. And so that came into consideration of where we were going, the score of the game, how we're doing it. Don't give them another opportunity. There's a number of things that come up. But the win was definitely a consideration of, it's not like, normally if you're playing inside, there's not any issues, weather issues or anything like that. You say, okay, you get the ball, you get to the 50, you can bomb at certain things, but there was no way at that point in time during the game that we'd be able to do that.
Slide did hit a 50-yarder into that same win.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Did something change between that?
We were doing what we thought was best, like we will every game. That's what we're always going to do. Situation of the game, score of the game, how are we playing on both sides of the ball. So there's a number of factors. It's not just, hey, okay, he's made this one. I mean, so it's just we're going to always think about, okay, situationally, what is the best thing for our football team on that game day.
What are some ways that you can maintain the
Excuse me,
energy?
sorry again?
What are the ways that you can maintain the energy that you guys came out with in the first half? Seemed like the offense was ticking.
Yeah.
Things were moving pretty fast for you guys, and you guys were getting what it looked like you guys wanted. And then the second half, it seemed to kind of sputter. What are some things that you guys are looking at to kind of maintain that as the game goes on?
Play complementary football. That's a big thing. I think when you look at it, playing complementary football, the offense, the defense, the kicking game, I think Jim did a phenomenal job in the return game. It's like if we just block one return a little better, it's going to be a house call. And the whole team, it'll electrify the entire team. And it's just a matter of everyone going out there and all three phases playing together, help each other. We had a critical third down backed up, 3rd and 8. It becomes a big play, and next thing you know, they go down and score. So if you get that stop, it's a field position game with the conditions we had, and you get good field position, you go down there, get points. It's a whole different deal. But it's all three phases playing together, playing complementary football, and finding a way to go out and win a game.
I'm not sure if you've said this yet. Any update on Simmons and Snead?
No, like every injury, I'm going to tell you guys this now. Every injury we come in here, we're going to come in, you give you an update on what it was, and then every injury is going to be a day-to-day basis because you never know until you get back to the facility how guys wake up the next day, how they're feeling, and you're always trying. We'll always talk to the players about, hey, at this point in time, it's Sunday to Sunday. So we got to do whatever we can to make sure we take care of our players because we're always going to look out for our players' best interests, health-wise, number one. That's always going to be taken into consideration. So they'll do whatever, and then as the week goes along, we give you guys an update if we have any information to share.
Can you identify anything that was done different or particularly specifically changed under your regime than maybe what had been happening before the change?
In what area are you?
Was there anything that the team did differently today that you believe was not happening?
Well, we got off to a fast start.
Okay.
We got off to a better start. I think the way we played the first half as a whole until the last couple minutes, I think we did a nice job there. But
on Cam's interception, it looked like a similar, maybe I don't know if it was the same route or a similar route to him throwing behind Ellick in the first quarter. Both of those misses. Was that an issue with guys not getting to the landmark, or was he just behind those guys, or was that a miscommunication? I
have to watch the tape exactly to tell you exactly what happened and where. See how the route was, see what the coverage was, see all those little things. But it is, we got to protect the football.
How do you hold guys accountable?
Excuse me?
For a game like this, how do you hold guys accountable? That was something you talked about a lot in the week leading up here. How do you, as the interim coach, hold guys accountable?
Well, after every game, I'll say this: our entire organization this week was phenomenal. The entire organization. Everyone came in. We rallied around each other. We had a great week. Thank you for all your help this week. You were awesome. But I think everybody in the organization, top down, they were unbelievable. And I think the week of practice we had was phenomenal. So, they did a great job. So it's just a matter of we got to find a way to play better. And, we're always going to, you talk about the accountability part is regardless of what the scores of the game, doesn't matter what it is, practice, games, we're going to watch the tape and we're going to be critical. We're coaches. We're going to coach. We're going to coach extremely hard. And that's the way it's going to be. No one's trying to make a mistake. No player is out there trying to make a mistake. But we also have to coach them and talk about the little things, the fine little details that it takes to get over this hump. So whether it's footwork, whatever it is. And it's, as coaches too, we've got to look at ourselves too and say, how do we help the players? Because it's all about the players. It's always going to be about the players. So we got to do whatever we can to put our players in a position to succeed, and they got to go out and execute. We're not going to make any excuses. Okay, we're going to get back to work. We'll get back in the meetings tomorrow. We'll watch it in all three phases tomorrow, clean everything up. Okay, players have Tuesday off. We'll get back in Wednesday and bust our tails to find a way to get a win this week.
Last one, John.
Mike, Patriots hadn't run the ball real well this year coming in. What did they do well today in that department? And I guess how much did losing Jeff help, I guess, or hurt rather, against both pass and run?
Oh, I think starting the game, that was the one thing after the first couple series we said we got to stop the run. That was one of the first things we talked about. I heard the staff talking. I was doing some, do a little bit of everything at halftime, but you could hear the defense staff saying, number one, we got to stop the run. Stop the run and keep the quarterback in the pocket. So they out-executed, and we got to do a better job at that. All right, thank you all very much.
The quick start, and then maybe what happened in the third where you guys couldn't really get much going at all.
I think just with the quick start is just us having urgency. That's how we need to start every game and maintain it throughout the whole game. And just the third quarter, really fumbling the football. I think that was what really set us back. If I don't do that, the game doesn't get out of hand that fast. So just gotta continue to have ball security and get better.
Did it slip on that play?
You said what?
Did it just slip on that play, that fumble?
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row. What's going on?
Gotta hold on to it tighter. But really, just gotta continue to emphasize it within myself. Gotta be better at it. I know that's something that I can't continue to let happen. I gotta cut that out next week.
Do you feel like you guys lose urgency at any point? You said that the first quarter of the success is from the urgency.
No, we don't lose urgency. It's just we have to continue to stack plays. And there's just, whether it's a false start and even towards the end of half, I should have checked the ball down, ended up stopping the clock again. We had to just, waste the play on what we didn't have to. It's just all of us have to continue to do our job every play. And when we do that, we can be a good offense.
Did you get a chance to push at all to go to try to score a field goal before halftime? Or is there no chance for you to kind of participate?
That's the goal, to get points. We had enough time. We had 3 timeouts. But when I don't take the completion right there like I need to, it puts the coaches, in the offense, in a bad situation. So that's how it ended up happening. So, I just got to be better. We got to be better as a whole. And then at the end of the day, we got to, win games. We have to start next week by winning the football game.
Obviously, you didn't get the result, but how do you like the way Mike McCoy and some of the changes that he's implemented? How do you like how that went throughout the week and in the game?
I think Mike, he's done an unbelievable job, especially within the circumstances that he's in. And everything, he's preached to us since he was named the interim. And then all the way to this point, it stayed true. We want to be, a hard, tough, physical football team. And we were that at times, but we weren't that the entirety of the game. That's why we got the outcome. So we got to continue to, pour to the coach staff. The coach staff continue to pour into us. And we got to, flip this thing around.
Anything changed pouring into you? He mentioned how previously working with Trevor Lawrence, he just told him all the time that, hey, you're getting better, you're getting better. Is that something you've experienced in this short time with him?
Yeah, I've experienced that every game. Not only him just telling me that I get better, I'm feeling that I'm getting better just because, the level that you have to play at consistently. And just as a whole, myself and as an offense, we haven't done that consistently. And I just think the coaching staff, they never really tell us, like what we have to, just continue to emphasize. They more tell them just to play the next play, continue to play. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to have a perfect game. But you got to continue to stack perfect plays to end up trying to be in a situation to win.
Is there anything you could take from Drake May's path? He had a somewhat rough rookie year, had a new coach his second season, he's playing like that. That's a pretty good course he's on. You think you can follow that?
It's not really about following him. It's more of, being myself. I think he's a great player. He's going to continue to, make plays in this league. When it's all said and done, I think me and him, we'll have a chance to have some elite battles. So he got the best of us today, but we got to continue to get better. But, that's not really the main goal as far as, us trying to, try to beat a particular person. Something we trying to, play together. We ain't played complementary football, for a decent amount of time. It's only been at clicks of the other day. So, we just got to continue to pour on each other, do better, and try to win next week.
What allowed for you to have so much success with Chim early, and did they do anything to kind of try to take him away?
Say that again?
What allowed you and Chim to have the success you had right out of the gate, and did they do anything to try to take him away in a second?
Me and Chim, we just see it the same way from, how he sees the fields to how I see the fields the same way. And I think that's something that me and him continue to, create that relationship just on the field. And I think he had an unbelievable day, not only in the return game, but especially at receiver. And I think the more reps me and Chim, get together, the better we're going to be. But, this only start.
On the fumbles, Cam, do you think it's more an issue with like focus and concentration, or is it more mechanics, which caused those couple fumbles?
I don't think it's neither. I just got to hold on to the football.
Did coaching staff tell you anything after that fumble?
Nah, they don't really be crashing out on the sidelines. Really more of next play. But they don't need to tell me that. I know that. But I got a great coaching staff around me and Bo. You know, he continuously tell me what I need to get better at, and that's one of the, you know, opportunities I have to get better at.
Do any examples come to mind of anything that was new or done differently today versus the first 6 games under Brian?
In terms of like,
In general, operation, communication, strategy, scheme, was anything different today than what had been in the past?
not really in the terms of just how it translates to the game or play. I think the biggest difference only been just practice. We had a great week of practice, and I think it translates to the game. Not you know the whole game, but we're starting to feel it click. But nothing really changed. Coach Callahan, he did his best for us. He's a great head coach. He's a guy who took a chance out of me, so I'm forever going to be grateful to him. But we just got to continue to play complementary football. We did it for one half. We didn't do it the next half. So, you know, that's the next improvement for us.
What are maybe nights like or 24 hours like for you after a game when things don't go as well as you want them to, as far as beating yourself up, and how are you as far as putting stuff behind you and getting ready for like the Colts next week?
I put stuff behind me fast. I think as a quarterback, you have to be able to play the next play. You got to be able to flush stuff. And it's really me watching all my bad plays. How can I prevent it? What situation are we in? What down are we in? And even on some good plays, there's some stuff that I can continue to do better today. But I just got to be able to, build off the bad plays and make them into more good plays.
Are there more opportunities today, Cam, for big chunk plays, even with Calvin out of the game? Looks like you had some decent success in getting the ball downfield.
Yeah, I think that it was more of an emphasis this week just because the different coverages that they can get to. It's a good defense that they have in the back end. And at the end of the day, we had to put the ball in play as well, starting early, just, taking what they give us until we're able to get, the intermediate and deep throws. So we just got to continue to stack plays like that.
The interception that was behind Shig, it looked similar to the miss in that same area of the field to Ellick in the first quarter. Were those the same route or the same play? It looked like the same miss. Was there miscommunication there in terms of the landmark, or were you just behind them?
No, it wasn't the same route or the same play, completely different concept. I just threw the ball behind them, so I just need to be accurate with football.
To what extent do you think your performance so far is representative of what Cam Ward can do at the quarterback position?
Say that again?
To what extent has your play thus far aligned, in your opinion, with what Cam Ward can do as a quarterback?
I think he can do a lot. He can push the ball down the field. He can make plays with his plays. With his feet, and he can motivate his teammates to, continue to try and score every drive. That's the standard that we want, to score the football every time we touch the field, whether it's with 3 or 7. But I think that's just what I possess. Not a lot of people can go the route that I took to get to this point. So I'm not tripping, over just a certain situation that, one person in or I'm in. I'm more trying to get better every day and meet my end goal, trying to be one of the best.
That touchdown, the 38-yarder, DK said that's something that you guys talked about, you repped. How long have you been waiting to have that opportunity and that exact look to be able to take advantage of what both you and he do well?
I was ready for that play. We had that play on the sheet for about 3-4 weeks. So whenever he called it, I got the smiling in the huddle. Almost checked out the play, but we reloaded. And then, that's Chim really making the play. The O-line did an unbelievable job just getting everybody out the way. Gunner sealed it, with the pin block, and Chim made the play. So I got to continue to put the ball in his hands, let him make plays because, when he touched the ball, he's dangerous.
Was that the first time that was called this season?
That specific play?
Yes.
That specific play, yeah. Not the protection screen, everything. We just got a new play in. It worked.
Thanks, Cam.